This is Miss Moore, and today during chemistry, we're going to discuss equilibrium and concentration. So today's essential question: how can a change in concentration shift equilibrium toward the reactants or the products? Before we can even talk about the essential question, though, we need to talk about what in the world is equilibrium. So when we're talking about equilibrium, we're going to be using a reversible reaction. We haven't talked about reversible reactions yet. So some reactions go only in one direction from the reactants to the products. These are the kind of reactions we've been dealing with thus far. So these, hopefully you remember, are the reactants. And this, in this case, is our product. This is a one-way reaction. Starts with the reactants, we end up with products. When the reactants are gone, the reaction is over. Many reactions, though, are reversible. And a reversible reaction is a reaction in which the conversion of reactant to products, meaning starting with reactants, going to products, or the reactants making the products, and then the conversion of products back to reactants. So the products break back down and make the reactants occur simultaneously or at the same time. And you can tell because there's an arrow going both directions. So we start with going from reactants making products, and then after a certain amount of time, and we'll talk about that in a minute, our products then break down to make reactants. All right, so now that we know what a reversible reaction is, we can talk about chemical equilibrium. Chemical equilibrium. All right, so when two reactants are initially mixed, the reaction only goes in the forward direction because there are no products. So we start out with, in this our reaction above, we have two SO2s reacting with O2. So at the beginning, that is all we have, our two reactants. Over time, these get together, bonds are broken, rearranged, and we end up making some SO3s. Okay, so the beginning of, even with chemical equilibrium or reversible reactions, we start with just reactants making products. All right. Then, as more products are produced, the rate of the forward reaction slows down. So we still have our reactants, but now we have more products. So I'm going to draw my little forward arrow smaller, showing that at this point, there's less reactants breaking down and reforming into products. Next step is we get to the reversible part. So after this, the products begin to break down into reactants at the same time as the reactants are forming products. So when enough products have been made, we reach what we call equilibrium. So we now have our reaction going forward, but as enough products are being made, what starts happening is that our products start breaking down and remaking our reactants. So the rest of the unit is going to be about factors affecting equilibrium, and today we're going to learn about concentration. So if concentration of a reactant or product is increased or decreased, the system or the reaction adjusts to restore balance. A good way to remember this, the way I like to think about this, is just always remember that the reaction is going to move away from the heavy side. So I'm going to demonstrate that in a moment. So let's see. Let's put our reaction back up. We had 2 SO2 plus O2. And this is going to be any reaction at equilibrium at perfect balance. It's 2SO3. Okay, hope I got that right. All right. Oh, and then one little piece of information that you need to know is this thing called this brackets. The square brackets mean concentration. So those brackets mean concentration. Boy, I can't spell today. Or the amount. So I'm going to be using those symbols. All right. So now, if we were to add some of this SO2, right? This used to be in perfect balance, but as soon as I add more SO2, this side, the reactant side, is heavier. So the reaction wants to move away from the heavy side towards the lighter side. So the reaction is going to start going forward. If it's going forward, it's going to be using the reactant to make the products. So if we're making products, that means the concentration of the products, in this case, SO3, is going to increase, right? Because we're making more of it. And we're using the reactants to make the products. So that means the concentration of SO2 is going to go down because we're using it. And the concentration of O2 is going to go down because we're using it. Let's try another one. Let's get rid of this stuff. Okay, so now let's add some SO3. So now SO3 is the heavy side. So the reaction is now going to go in the reverse direction towards the lighter side. So we're going to be using SO3 to make SO2 and O2. So if we're using SO3, the concentration of SO3 is going to decrease, and the concentration of SO2 is going to increase, and the concentration of O2 is going to increase because we're making more. All right. So now let's talk about removing stuff. I guess before I give you the answer, that wasn't the smartest. Let's put our reaction back. Let's see, it was 2SO2 plus O2. Oops, sorry. 2SO3. All right. So now, if I remove some of this, if I remove SO3, think about it. Which side's heavier now? Well, I removed SO3, I removed some product, which makes the reactant side heavy, right? So that means we're going to go forward. We're going to go away from the heavy side. We're going to be making SO3, and using SO2 and O2 to do so. That means the concentration of SO2 is going to decrease because we're using it, and the concentration of O2 is going to decrease because we're using it, and the concentration of SO3 is going to increase because we're making it. Right? So now let's look at the answer. It says, if reactant is removed, oh, I did product there, didn't I? Okay, let's do the reactant as well then. Let's erase this. We'll try it again with reactant. So if we move some reactant, let's remove some of this. If we remove SO2, which side is now the heavy side? The products. So the reaction is going to go reverse, meaning we're going to be using SO3 to make SO2 and O2, which means the concentrations of SO2 and O2 are going to increase, and the concentration of SO3 is going to decrease. Hopefully, you do need you to write out all these examples. It'll help for later. All right, so now writing out the words. If product is removed, nope, sorry, let's try that again. If reactant is removed, then the reverse reaction will increase. Why? Because if we're removing reactant, the product side is heavier. Or has extra. And you really shouldn't have to memorize this part. You should be able to talk yourself through the examples. All right. So conversely, if we remove product, the forward reaction will increase. Why? Because if we remove product, the reactant side is going to be heavier. Because it has extra. This isn't super difficult, but you definitely need to talk yourself through each problem. All right, so I want to do one really quick practice problem, and then we'll be done. So here we go. My question is going to be, what could I do to increase the concentration of SO3? Okay, so let me put my reaction back. 2SO2 plus O2 produces 2SO3. Okay, so this is asking, what could I do to increase the concentration of SO3? So what I'm saying is I want the reaction to make more SO3. So I want this to be made. How do I make that happen? Well, first of all, which way do I want the reaction to go? I want it to go in the forward direction to be making more SO3. So that means I need the reactant side to be heavy and the product side to be light. So how do I do that? How can I make the SO2, how could I make the reactant side heavier? I could add SO2. I could add O2. I could also make the reactant side heavier by removing SO3. Okay, there you go. That's it for today. Think it through. It's not too bad, but it does take thinking.